Hello and welcome to our Sunday evening edition of Arirang News. I'm Daniel Che. We begin with the bitter cold that's been gripping Korea this weekend. The country's temperatures, rather. We begin with a bitter cold that's been gripping the country. Korea isn't the only country that's in a deep freeze. As our Iji-won reports, other parts of the world are experiencing the near Arctic conditions as well.
For most parts of Korea, Sunday was the coldest day of the season. According to the nation's weather agency, the low in Seoul was minus 18 degrees Celsius, Daegu at minus 13, and Busan at minus 10.2. Seoul's bone-chilling temperature was the lowest in 15 years, and with the wind chill, it felt more like minus 23.6 degrees at noon. The day before that, the Korea Airports Corporation suspended all flights to and from the southern island of Jeju-do due to heavy snow and strong winds. The suspension will last until 9 a.m. on Monday. Korea isn't the only country in the grip of a severe cold wave. A massive blizzard struck the U.S. East Coast on Saturday, and at least 17 people have died in storm-related accidents. A state of emergency has been declared in 11 states, and about 9,000 flights have been canceled. Washington, D.C. was hit with 60 centimeters of snow, the second highest since 1922. China is also experiencing a severe cold wave, with some northern provinces reporting seasonal lows of 48 degrees below zero. Shanghai also marked a record 35-year low of minus 7 degrees on Sunday. But the cold wave is expected to let up soon, with weathercasters forecasting temperatures around the world will return to the seasonal averages next week. Iji-won, Arirang News.
Turning to local politics, the leaders of Korea's two main rival parties met this afternoon to try and reach an agreement on a series of contentious bills and redrawing the country's electoral map before the current session ends on February 8th. Today's meeting at the National Assembly focused on 4 labor reform bills, including one on irregular workers. However, the two sides failed to come up with an agreement because of their long-standing dispute over the irregular worker bill. The ruling party says the bill protects irregular workers, while the main opposition argues it will only increase their numbers. If lawmakers can't break the impasse today, they plan to reconsider the bills again in February. More than 200,000 people have signed on to a petition urging swift passage of a series of long-pending economy-related bills. The campaign is being led by 38 economic bodies, including the Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Federation of Korean Industries, and the Korea International Trade Association. It seeks to gather 10 million signatures asking for the bill's passage. Aside from the online petition, there are 71 booths set up nationwide to collect signatures, and organizers have employed stricter monitoring systems to prevent forgeries. Even President Park Geun-hye has added her name to the list. Since joining on Monday, she has responded to the criticism that her participation infringes on Parliament by saying the petition was a last resort and is needed to save the economy and boost employment. The 2016 World Economic Forum just wrapped up in the Swiss town of Davos. During the 4-day event, our correspondents were busy covering everything from the daily discussions on global issues to the frenzy of networking at night and the behind-the-scenes going on. Here's just a few of the highlights.
For the past 4 days, we've been bringing you live coverage of the World Economic Forum in the Swiss alpine town of Davos. The annual event has now come to an end, and in this final report, we bring you the highlights of Day 4 and a sneak peek into what went on behind the scenes. Modest growth is what IMF head Christine Lagarde expects for the world economy in 2016. Speaking at a session on the global economic outlook, Lagarde said the organization expects the global economy to grow 3.4% this year, up from 3.1% in 2015.
We see global growth. From 3.1 in 2015, we see it at 3.4 in 2016 and 3.6 in 2017. So there are factors that will actually increase the global value of our economies.
However, the IMF chief also made note of several risks that could affect the prediction: the transition in the Chinese economy, the downward slide in commodity prices, asynchronous monetary policies around the world, and the potential for capital to move from developing economies to advanced ones. In a session on the future of growth based on the event's theme, Mastering the Fourth Industrial Revolution, Participants noted the effect technological advances will have on human workers, while academics discussed the future of science. The annual meeting, the 46th of its kind, involving some 2,500 participants, including business tycoons, politicians, and academics, ended with a closing performance on Saturday.
While our team was covering the busy four-day event, not only did we get to see the high-profile participants here and there, but we spent a lot of time with the people buzzing around the scene. Hello. To get around from the media village to the main venue, the Congress Center, we were lucky enough to have the use of this electric car.
Wie ist die Woche für Sie gelaufen?
It was great. It was a little cold and minus 20 degrees. But apart from that, it was a very nice week.
Und was für Leute haben Sie hier gesehen?
I saw Kofi Annan, the leader from Iran, and the leader from Iceland. It was a very nice encounter.
And the people capturing it all on film work at this cozy place, which looks a little like a shipping container.
It was nice to be able to film such a diversity of different voices, I guess, and, you know, interesting ideas. And, yeah, certainly an interesting thing to be filming.
With thousands of personnel working around the clock, the organizers of the forum said the 46th event went off smoothly.
The point of the effort we put in is to make sure everything is correct. What we don't want to do is have the participants here, you know, with any reason not to make the very most use of the meeting. So they've got to be here. We need the 2,500 people that come here every year to have all of their capability to put towards solving critical global challenges.
The media was certainly part of that. Around 250 journalists were present to document every development.
This is my first Davos. I thought it's amazing to see so many powerful people together and that the concerns are often the same.
That's the potential of the fourth industrial revolution, using technology to bring the people of the world a little closer together to resolve the major issues facing humanity. The question is whether we'll be closer to mastering it before the next Davos Forum in 2017.
Korean tech giant Samsung, SK, and KT have all made the list of nominees for this year's Global Mobile Awards, equivalent to what the Oscars are for movies. Samsung Pay is in the running for honors in two separate categories: Best Mobile Payment Solution and Best Overall Mobile App. Samsung Electronics is also expected to win for Best Smartphone, Best Mobile Tablet, and Best Connected Consumer Electronic Device. SK Telecom looks set to have a great harvest as well, with its Smart Robot Coding School nominated for Best Mobile Innovation for Education. Its Smart Hearing Aid is up for the Best Use of Mobile for Accessibility and Inclusion Award, and its Unified Analytics Platform is up for Best Mobile Technology Breakthrough Award. Not to be left out, KT is competing to win Best Mobile Network Solution for serving customers and the award for Best Mobile Security or Anti-Fraud Solution. The Glomo Awards will be held at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona on February 23rd. With the sub-zero temperatures expected to continue into this week, vehicles care will be important for motorists looking to avoid being caught out in the cold. For some very handy tips on winterizing your car, we turn to Park Ji-won.
Here is a basic checklist for car maintenance during severe cold weather. The battery and charging system are the first items to be checked. Cold weather is hard on batteries. If batteries are old or left unchecked for a long time, the engine might not be able to turn over in cold weather. If your car has a black box, it's more likely to take a toll on the battery, so it's good to unplug the power cable when not in use for extended periods of time. And make sure to check your vehicle's antifreeze levels for safe winter driving, as it protects the car's engine from freezing in cold weather.
Without a sufficient amount of antifreeze, the car's engine could explode. Always make certain to put in a 50-50 mix of antifreeze and coolant.
Washer fluid will help keep the windshield clear of ice and frost, so make sure to maintain proper levels. Wipers also need to be changed every few years. Tire pressure should be checked on a regular basis. Make sure to inflate tires around 10% more during the winter months, as air pressure drops in cold weather. In case of heavy snow, be prepared to install snow chains if necessary. Finally, make sure to fill up with fresh fuel to avoid any corrosion from possible icing of the gas tank. 박지원, Arirang News.
And now for a quick look at the weather before we go. If you're in Korea and dare to spend time outdoors over the weekend, you know just how frigid it is out there. Well, the brutal conditions are expected to continue on Monday, with Seoul starting the day at 14 below 0 degrees Celsius, Cheolwon dropping to minus 21, and Chuncheon at minus 19. Seoul will get up to a high of minus 4. Cheolwon will warm up to minus 6, and Chuncheon to 5 below 0. And that's Korea for you. Let's check out the weather conditions in your neck of the woods and around the world. And that's all from us for now. More updates at 10 p.m. Korea time. Thanks for watching.